Imagine waking up one day as David Ames, the character played by Tom Cruise in the movie Vanilla Sky. The 2001 film is known not only for its famous cast, including Penelope Cruz and Cameron Diaz, but also for featuring one of the most expensive scenes in the history of cinema. Times Square was closed to the public for 3 hours just to shoot a few seconds of a scene with Tom Cruise. The filming itself lasted only a few minutes, but it took months of planning, police coordination, and millions of dollars to make it happen. Anyway, back to the subject of the film. It deals with the anxiety of a wealthy young man whose face is disfigured after an accident. David does his best to return to his previous state, to be beautiful and adored once again. In fact, Vanilla Sky is not an original story. It was adapted from the 1997 Spanish film, Open Your Eyes. While the plot is generally the same, Caesar, the main character played by Eduardo Noriega, is more dramatic and darker in the Spanish version. In both films, the character wages a psychological war to restore his face in order to be accepted by society. But is it actually the face, the beauty and attractiveness, that makes us who we are? Does the face truly make us accepted and successful? American surgeon Maxwell Maltz argued that it is not appearance that determines our success. Instead, it is the image we create for ourselves that dictates our life's path. According to Maltz, self-image is the foundation upon which an individual's entire personality, behavior, and life circumstances are built. In his famous 1960 book, Psycho-Cybernetics, Maltz compares the human brain to a computer to illustrate how we program ourselves for success or failure based on the data we record. Consciously or unconsciously, if we cling to past traumas and negative experiences, we orient ourselves toward failure because that is the image we have constructed, a person who does not succeed. In Psycho-Cybernetics, Maltz writes, our self-image sets the limits for the achievement of any particular goal. The image defines the zone of possibility. Our creative mechanism works on the information and data that we feed it, our thoughts, beliefs, and interpretations. Maltz believed that humans possess something animals do not, creative imagination. Because of this, man is more than just a creature, he is a creator. Through imagination, we can formulate goals and direct our success mechanism by using the faculty of imagery. Psycho-Cybernetics became an instant bestseller, making Dr. Maltz one of the most sought-after motivational speakers of the 1960s and early 1970s. He published over a dozen books, applying his philosophy to business, athletics, and even personal relationships. His influence reached far beyond medicine and psychology. The famous Spanish painter Salvador Dalí was deeply moved by Maltz's work. Fascinated by this philosophy, Dalí painted Darkness and Light in 1966 and dedicated it to Maltz. The painting depicts the human mind sailing toward success, symbolized by a ship, through mental control and the overcoming of darkness. Before writing about psychology and self-development, Maltz was a highly successful surgeon. Born in New York in 1889, he received his bachelor's degree in 1917 and his MD in 1923. He later traveled to Germany to train as a plastic surgeon. Upon returning to the United States, he began practicing at Beth Israel Hospital, where he performed hundreds of cosmetic procedures. He transformed the appearances of dozens of people who felt their lives were a disaster because of their looks. Through his clinical work, he authored many articles for medical journals and eventually gained fame with his first book, New Faces, New Futures. From his daily practice, Maltz noticed a fascinating phenomenon. The scalpel did more than just change a patient's appearance, it often transformed their behavior. This brings to mind the Japanese film The Face of Another, which explores the profound psychological shift that occurs when one adopts a new face and a new identity. Maltz wrote, "In one case after another, the scalpel in my hand became a magic wand that not only transformed the patient's appearance but transformed his entire life. The shy and withdrawn became bold. A salesman who had lost his self-confidence became a model of self-reliance. And perhaps most striking of all was the tough criminal who changed almost overnight from an incorrigible inmate to a model prisoner who earned parole and went on to take a responsible role in society." These observations propelled Maltz toward a new career. He became convinced that many who sought plastic surgery needed something more than physical alteration, and some did not need surgery at all. According to Maltz, these individuals were searching for more out of life: happiness, peace of mind, and success. He realized that when people lose self-confidence and harbor a negative self-image, they stifle their own abilities and talents, leading to anxiety, fear, and self-hatred. Maxwell Maltz stated that the discovery of the self-image was the most important psychological breakthrough of the 20th century. Whether we realize it or not, each of us carries a mental blueprint, a self-image. It may be vague or even unrecognizable to our conscious mind, but it is there, complete down to the last detail. This self-image is our internal concept of the kind of person I am. For Maltz, the secret to truly living a satisfying life is maintaining an appropriate and realistic self-image that you can live with. You must find yourself acceptable to yourself. You must possess a healthy sense of self-esteem.